Good morning. Another morning waking up to a beautiful lake. And that's the shelter, just up the opposite way. Good morning. It is day 23. Yesterday it was an alright day. It was a walk into Northcliffe. There's one section which was beautiful on single track, lots of flowers, and then it was just okay. Northcliffe had a nice hot breakfast, enjoyed that, big coffee, and on my way walked to Gardener Hut, sort of beside a road for a while, and a bit of single track, and then a couple of roads, nothing fascinating, and then the last section, which I hadn't planned on doing but didn't want to sit in a hut half a day. It was all roads, but it was really neat because it was different terrain. It was in the open sandy tracks, different vegetation, so yeah, quite enjoyed it. And a few puddles to go through, got my feet wet, they dried out, and then a few k from the hut got my feet wet again, so you know, the wet feet, which meant this morning, yuck, wet socks first thing in the morning. It's always that first couple of minutes and then they're fine, but ugh, horrible feeling. Last night it's cold again. Oh, it was cold, and it's still not warm yet. Once again, fingers are tingling, borderline needing gloves. Today it's quite a long stretch, 26k to the first shelter, which is meant to have some interesting river next to it, and then another 19k to the shelter after that. So another long day. Looks like it's going to be a sunny day. I said that yesterday, but despite the fact it stopped raining after Northcliffe, it was cloudy and threatened to rain. A couple of spits once, but it never actually rained, so it just meant it was a nice temperature. But at the moment there's not a cloud in the sky and the forecast is good, so yay, another good day. Nice trail to start the day. There's one person in the hut, Kaz. She has done this before. She's doing it this time round with her friend. Yeah, we didn't talk a lot, had an initial conversation and then bedtime, probably because it was quite late when I arrived. It's the first time I've been eating dinner by torchlight. Yeah, first puddle of the day. This one's not very deep. It's long, just keeps going and going and going. Oh, that puddle was cold. Oh. And we have boardwalk. Got to keep our feet dry. That's quite a long section of boardwalk, and keeps going until not quite long enough. Yay, another boardwalk. Ooh, there's another long one as well. Oh, cool. These logs are bouncy in the middle. Oh, this is fun. Bouncy, bouncy, bounce. Back one is a tall log to try and get over. Very green in here, lots of bracken. Still the occasional yellow flowers and occasionally the purple ones. There's emu around. I'm guessing it is a dad and a little baby. Out of the forest, back into the open. There you go, flower for the morning. Been in the forest for an hour, so nice to have a change now. Still not warm. I'm glad to be in the open with a little bit of sun. My fingers are still barely functional. That's an emu footprint. nice bridge over that little puddle. However, we then continue around. Just more puddles. It's easier, just go through them. Well, this is a long one. It's cold. It's freezing cold. There's been quite frequent puddles that I've had to walk through. That lady in the hut, she's got waterproof boots, so she's been stopping at all the puddles and taking the boots off and putting on Crocs, and then she ended up walking a long distance for Crocs. And this is where the advantage of trail shoes, where you don't care, and once they're wet you just keep walking because you know they're going to dry off pretty quickly afterwards. Actually had quite almost half an hour with no water. We're on more of a road now. Starting to get a little pain down outside of my shin, right down the bottom. Usually that's a sign for me my laces are too tight. So I loosened them off and got better for a little while, but I can still feel it, so I'll slow down the pace, and I might have to reassess at the shelter whether I go ahead or if I stop and take a bit of a rest. Excitement, crossing a road. Oh, some insect makes little mud balls. It's making a nest. Ah, a bridge. Over what? It's smaller than most of what we've been going through. Guess it comes up in the winter. Right. So I've just been tooling along this road. Occasional period where there's lots of puddles and it'll be dry for a while, and then more puddles to go through. So just enough that my feet start to dry out a bit, and then there's another puddle. It is 20 to 9 and it's still cool. My fingers are still barely functional. The sun's well and truly up, blue sky, but I have been in the shade most of the time, but the sun doesn't seem to have the heat today that it has had recently. Hopefully it'll start heating up a bit, warm up, and then the snakes will come out. Area, lots of trees down. I'll try and bash your way through. No, I need my poles. Ooh, something different. Into a rocky area. Open, no vegetation. There, not quite the big, great stone slabs that we had up north, but still something different. It's variety. There's quite a few of these little pink ones. They seem to be closed, waiting for the sun, I'm guessing. See how big this tree is? It is bigger than I am. It's massive. Not a bad day to have a short day and to be taking it slow. It's actually quite tiring going through all the puddles and then lots of this sort of deadfall scrambling over it. So, puttering away. This section is almost constant. It's big long patches of deadfall like this. There's a long section of boardwalk. I'm trying to think why my leg is sore so suddenly, and I'm putting it down to either more walking on sand yesterday, or it could be the puddles, because as my feet go through it put extra strain, because I'm pretty sure what's happened as it is the tendon that goes up here, and that is the one that lifts the foot up. So going through the water, there was extra pressure as my foot was being lifted up. I think that's what has caused it. But it is not getting any worse. It's just there, feeling it, but not actively painful. So I think I'm definitely going to stop at the shelter and have an early day. I've got 10k to go to get to the shelter. Hey, there's something different. Oh. They're nice and stable. Oop, that's a bigger step. That was fun, something different. Swampy in there. Got the frogs going. Don't remember seeing these before. I may have. Beanstalk. All the way up at the very top. What's that? Right. This is the first hill of the day, if you can believe that. I'm 5 minutes short of 4 hours, and it's the first hill, and it's not very big and not very steep. I was wrong, it's not a short hill, but the gradient's so gentle that you barely even notice I'm going uphill. But it's been 5 minutes now of steady uphill. It's a long straight road. I can see quite far in the distance down this road. There's a fat tadpoles. Look at that. I see you. 700 kilometers, woohoo! Oh, exciting! Another road crossing. Oh, look out there! Wow, you can actually see some plains, treeless area. Hopefully, we get a better view further on. There's a car coming. It's probably the only car all day. Oh, pretty! There's heaps of them on this one. A version of grass tree that are really tall and not as bushy. There you go, something different. That's where I've come from. The open grasslands or swamplands. Same on the other side. Neat little pond. Right, continuing on this long straight road. These don't have the orange, they're just pink. Maybe up high, but there's still water. Not deep though. Been a view of the plain. Swamp, grass, not quite sure how you would categorise it. This is a record. It has just turned 11 o'clock and I've only just put my sleeves up. Usually they're up by 8:30, 9 o'clock. It's finally starting to warm up now. Though there's quite a cool breeze going through. But when you're out of the breeze, it's nice and warm. Like this one. Grown over the water. We're in the bush for a bit, but back out into the open. Splish splash. Fully opened up now. Quite extensive. And this is the last road crossing of the day. From here is 4.5 kilometres to the shelter. Unfortunately, when I started to look at the map, it looks like we're on this road for the next 4.5 kilometres to the shelter. There's some shade now and the excitement of a gate ahead. Whoa. Today there hasn't been many birds throughout the whole day. It's been really unusual. Today here I'm actually hearing one, but yeah, every other day there's been heaps and heaps of birds. Here's my first snake. Don't know what it is. It's black with a yellow belly. Here we go, snake number 1. Almost didn't even see it. It was probably got to about 2 meters away. I went, oh, hang on a minute. That's not a stick, that's a snake. Hey, there it is, the shelter. This is dog pool shelter. And this is why it's a popular shelter. I don't think I'll be swimming in that, but I will be washing my socks out